So here I am back with this JS300 cylinder. So I'm getting ready to do some porting. So I scribed 1 millimeter all the way around because that's the exhaust side I can open up. Measuring at 42 right here at the exhaust pipe manifold that connects to here, and this is measuring at 40. So if we remove 1 millimeter off each side, pretty much, this will open up to 42. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up all this area right here. Try to mostly focus on the top right here, smooth everything out, and clean it up a little bit, and just raise it up just a touch. And same as right here, all this transfer ports and stuff right here, I'm gonna just clean them up. I'm gonna drop all this right here, 1 millimeter. And as this right here also, and all the way around, just clean up all that. And then I'll go on the inside right here, and you can see that some of that casting markings and stuff. Just smooth everything out, just remove everything. I won't polish it, but I'll just clean all that stuff up a little bit, and pretty much it. Then we'll just go to the casings, and then we'll just smooth everything out right here. All these sharp corners, we'll smooth everything out and try to gain some power. Alrighty. And also, I'm using this little deburring or whatever you call grinder. That's all I got, so that's what I'm gonna use. I'm using this bit right here. I got some right here, and then I got some Harbor Freight Special right here. Got some of those different grits on there. Got some of that right here. Also, I got this off Amazon, so we'll be trying these out also if we have to, but that's what I got. But yeah, pretty much we'll be using that. Or we got this also, the right angle. And then we got all these different polishing kits right here, and also we got this little one right here that we can attach and clean up everything. But yeah, we'll go ahead and go with that. We'll also have to open up this gasket just a touch, so that way it clears everything, but hoping for some gains. All right. So guys, finally got done deburring with a carbide tips. So now I'll need to go and polish everything out to smoothen everything out. So I went ahead and opened up the crank area where the cylinder goes on. So opened all this area out, smoothened everything out, smoothened all that out, smoothened all this intake side. I removed this little notch. It used to stick out up to here about 8 mils. So I removed that notch all the way down, created a radius all the way down. So I removed probably about 5 millimeters from here, came in. So made an access port right here to this area. So we'll have to go in and epoxy that in, block that off, smoothen all that out, which is not a problem. And yeah, just went ahead and cleaned everything up right here. And just the same as on the other side right here, as you can see, that pocket got opened up. We'll epoxy that in, smoothing that out, just like that right here. This used to come up flush with this right here, so I cleaned all that back. Removed all this material. There used to be an imperfection in the cast right here, smoothing all that out. Now I'll go ahead and smoothen all this area right here, just right here also. Smoothened all that out, smoothed that out. And also I went ahead and opened up this area up because we did that here on the cylinder. We opened this up a little bit, so we went ahead and opened all that. So I got my cylinder done also. As you can tell, all that has been ported with the carbide. Now we just have to use the sandpaper or a Scotch-Brite and smoothen all that out. And the same as my exhaust, smoothing all that out with the carbide or roughed it out. Now I need to go ahead with my one of these things and the sandpapers or a Scotch-Brite. Yeah, we should be done. And clean it up and be ready to assemble it. Super pumped. So stay tuned. So after the pouring and then the polishing, smoothing everything out, I brought everything back inside the house where it's nice and clean. And I'm gonna clean up this in some hot soapy water and make everything ready. I spray some WD-40 and or just some kind of 2-stroke oil or something like that. Just rub everything, make sure everything's preserved from rusting and stuff like that. And yeah, after we get it all cleaned up, we'll be able to bolt it all back together, assemble the whole engine, and be ready to rip. Super exciting moment where porting and polishing takes a lot of time. This took me probably around 4 hours, I'd say. So this is some fun stuff, but man, it's tedious. And there's not much info on the 300, so some of it is trial and error that I will be doing. But that's what I'm doing, and hopefully this thing will, perform better than it used to. I did try it out stock, so some few mods that I'm upgrading, and hopefully it'll do a difference. So let's clean this up and get ready for assembly. But it'll be in the next video of the JS300 build. Here we have the final clean products. Then lube this one up because it's steel. Everything else is mostly aluminum. And yeah, got all my ported projects right here. So I'm super stoked how everything's looking. Can't wait to get this thing running now. The exhaust just, man, turned out so good. I'm so excited. I'm just glad I had the opportunity to go ahead and do it. Cleaned everything up. Just gotta epoxy that hole and that hole right there. I'm not really sure if it would really actually make a difference because it's actually connected to the same side. Basically, goes to the ports. So I think it's not gonna matter, but if anybody knows or would chime in, would be awesome. But I think it doesn't matter. But anyways, I'm gonna seal it up because it was blocked up. So I'll go ahead and smooth it out and put some epoxy in there and fix that. On the other hand, this is what happens when you have a porting job. It gets really nasty. Got a nice pile of shavings right there. And all the shavings right here. Basically, what I ended up using most of the time was this tool right here and this tool. I did end up using, I had this little set also. I did end up using this little one to get into the tighter spots, and then I used this tool with the little radius. It's a 1/4 inch, and I just blended everything in some of the corners. Worked pretty good, and super stoked. But this kit right here, you can get them on Amazon for like, I think I paid $30, which is very worth it. I mean, I was surprised. They were very well balanced. They weren't out of bounds or anything, so definitely go. They were still sharp. Nothing was missing, even though I was actually porting some of that steel. As you can tell right here, I ported that in that area and this area, which was steel, and which I took about 1 mil off everywhere, and it did pretty good. And these tools are holding up pretty good. Super stoked. Other than that, what else I did was cleaned everything up. I had to measure my exhaust, and then I traced it over to that side. So I'll have to probably open up this gasket, but I'll have to measure that. But most likely I'll have to trim about 1 millimeter, and I could just put it on here and just trim it to this diameter, and should be good. But now I'm gonna go ahead, clean up this table, and prep this area up to start assembling this whole engine together, and hopefully we can have a running 300, and it will be pretty cool. So if you like this video, if it's helping somebody, go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment, and stay tuned for more. Peace. So I got my crankcases all epoxied up, got the holes all blocked off, just like this one right here, right there. Just a little bit of sanding to smoothen everything out. Should be good to go. Then filled up the gap. There's no pocket right here with JB Weld, same as on this side. Fixed it up. Also on this side is where the oil port would come in if you didn't have premix coming from the carburetor. I went ahead and punched it out and removed that, so I'll have a delete, because I'll be running premix. I won't be having no oil tank mixture. This is for the JS300 build. So I JB Weld that pocket, so I'll have to clean this area up. Probably leave this area just like it is. And yeah, everything else, smoothing it out, clean up everything. I'll lap these things and should be good to go to assemble.